All right, so welcome back to the 2011. No, it's 2012. Just kidding. No, it's season 11 ESEA LAN finals right here in Dallas, Texas. Again, I'm Corey Dunn alongside Ron Rambo Kim. And so far, we've watched a great matchup. First matchup in this best of three, we had Cyber Revolution 16, Blight Zomblers 11 right there on DE Tuscan. And right now, what map are we on? I can't remember what it's called. Contra.
Contra.
Yes.
Yeah, it is Contra. Second map here.
Why did I blank out?
Our first 2011.
2011, that's probably where it kicked it off. I'm a year behind, guys. Or 7 months behind.
See what I'm working with here.
That's terrible. But be sure, I've got a goal this weekend in all fun. I want to try to get Ron Rambo Kim. If you have a Twitter account, which is crazy for a Counter-Strike gamer to have a Twitter account, but this we got Ron Rambo Kim to actually step forth into the 21st century, and we got him a Twitter account. And so far, last I checked, he had 24. But I want you not only to follow him, but also post comments about this specific game. Some of the things that you like, some things that you didn't, some things you thought you would have done differently if you were playing in the LAN finals like these guys here. But we are live, I believe. The way that they're playing right now looks like we're live here in the pistol round here on Contra, Cyber Revolution, here against Blight Zomblers. And you've already got Miller. He's got dualies in hand as we take a look here in game.
So Cyber, they're in a really good position here. They have the vertical bird's eye advantage where they're looking down on their opponent. They just got to be able to hold off this long ramp over here.
As Miller has utilizing every bit of those 30 bullets, 15 in each, and just spraying away. It doesn't matter what game you're dealing with. The height advantage is always key to have. And that's going to finish off the round. It wasn't beneficial to the T because one of the things that most games don't have to deal with is flashbangs whenever you have a height advantage. And right there, that's exactly what happened. They threw in flashbangs. There was nowhere for them to go, and had a great little retake. And Zomblers picks up the first round.
Yeah, but either way, they got the bomb down. So I'm really interested to see if they're going to buy or not. Yeah, they're sitting in spawn still, kind of figuring out what they're doing. I don't see any pistols on the ground, so it does look like they're going to just fully save here, and they'll have full inventory for the next round.
All right, so now let's go and take a look here. You've got Cyber Revolution pushing up here inside of mid. Looks like, I believe, heard a dualies. Maybe that was picked up by someone else. That was Devour who picked up those dualies. That's going to be dirty later on, as there goes Devour picking up one there into Connor. Devour showing how it's done there, as he picked up two so far with the dualies, and now it's going to be left up to Schaefer. And now it's going to be down to a, that was going to do it. Schaefer getting picked off there at the last part of the round. Now the score is going to be 2-0 here in favor of Blight Zomblers here over Cyber Revolution.
Yep, and CyberRev here, they planted that first bomb round, and they got that 800 bonus money, elected to save second, and now they have full inventory here. And you see that smoke over there, what it does is going to block off anyone spawning from this window to the cross. So it looks like they're going to do a fast split here.
Yeah, that's not going to slow down HE grenades being held in, as they picked up a couple kills coming in there with that FAMAS, and now it's going to be down to a 2-on-3. Main goal here now is to get that bomb down and try to hold it down, see if they can pick up this round. Now it's kind of a better situation that they're working with. Devour still holding on to those dualies. Miller going to get taken down by Ryan, still pushing inside the site. Ryan picking up two with the FAMAS. That's going to do it for that round. And here comes the defuse. 3-0 is going to be the score. And, weapon of choice has to be the dualies for Devour.
Yeah,
his op was off, but his dualies are so on.
That's true, and Ryan there with
They're cheaper.
Yeah, and you look cool and you get 30 bullets.
That's right.
Can't go wrong with that.
Take notes. 3-0 again is the score here in favor of the Zomblers. As see if what can happen here on Contra. As Devour's pushing up inside of that sewer area. Let's see if he spots one. Now he's got two of them to worry about. He tried to switch back over to those illegal dualies, and he gets taken out there by Connor from a deagle, the respective illegal deagle, as now Let's see what happens. They're able to get there towards that bomb site. The bomb is dropped there inside the site. You saw it right there by Stan. They're waiting for them to over-rotate inside this site. Mainline watching the flank. As here comes Classified. I think this was kind of counterintuitive here. They should have just went for the plant and got the bomb down. Now they've got to force themselves to try to get the bomb down. Now it's down to a 1-on-4. I'm not a big fan of what they did there. They could have pushed inside the site at least and got the bomb down and been able to acquire money later on. Now the only thing that they're going to benefit from is they only picked up 2 kills, but Heatwave, oh, he switched to dualies. Thought he was going to drop him off for Devour, but 4-0 is now the score. Here in favor of the Zomblers. What happened there for Cyber Revolution?
Well, you bring up a really valid point there. When you're saving, you want to get the bomb down. I think the only reason why they stalled there was because Schaefer, he was flanking CT spawn. So maybe they were giving him a couple seconds there to try to make a play and just wait. But on the other hand, when you're saving, you just got to get the bomb down and try to play for the next round. I think that would have been the smarter play, like you said.
Well, one of the things that's interesting, I mean, even with him, let's go and take a look there. You can see how he was playing that site. He got either a booster or wrap deck around. Either way, he was up on top of the ledge area. Peeks back out with the AK, taking down Connor. Heatwave picking up 2, make that 3 so far, as Heatwave dealing out some damage, picking up 4 frags in the round, as now the score is going to be 5-0. We had mentioned that Zomblers has a lot of talent, and the teamwork that they have has just been around for a long time. So it's matured, if you will, and we expect a lot from them. With these counter-terrorist-sided rounds, they've definitely done a great job on retakes, playing aggressive, and really taking control over the game.
Yeah, I think that's where skill shines the most, the CT side, because the players, that gives you the most room to work around and play your own spots.
Wow.
It's really showing right now. Cyber have a really hard time trying to hit these bomb sites just because Blight are hitting their shots.
Let's take a look at the ADR right now, where they're at. Especially the main thing I want to focus on is the number of deaths, or the number of kills for Cyber Revolution and the number of deaths for Blight Zomblers. They're sitting collectively right now at 8 deaths overall, of course, which that means that there's going to be 8 kills for Cyber Revolution. What that's going to do, we've already been 6 rounds into this game. That's going to hurt them on money throughout the game. Of course, they've acquired cumulatively because of all the other rounds, but just looking at it overall, that just shows how much of a steamroll it's been so far for the Zomblers here over Cyber Revolution. Let's go ahead and take a look here. You can see here inside of this bomb site, they've got 2 members, one watching low, one watching the highway. As a lot of smokes are coming in, some counter flashes, kind of working together. Great straight line that they've been working. They both had a great spot line, a great viewing angle where they were kind of watching the same area at the same time, which is great because they're not that forces the terrorist or the offensive to push in and spot both of them at the exact same time. As we go ahead and hop back into this round, down to a 4v4, bomb carrier is going to be Miller. They're still pushing her towards that side. Bomb sounds like it's getting planted there. Here comes Mainline picking up 1. Here comes Ryan and shuts down 1 as well. Now it's going to be down to a 2-on-2. Sauce as well as Classified going up against now Schaefer, who's the LMS. He's got an op in hand. He can get these picks. He can make things happen here.
Yeah, he's in a really good spot. Oh, he's blind. Is he going to be able to kill the diffuser?
Oh, no. Classified peeks out. He basically baited his teammate Sauce to go for that fake defuse, or even a real defuse, but drawing in the action. They cleared out all the other areas. The bomb was planted in such a way that he'd had to push out on the open, which would have delayed a lot of time, which allowed Classified to peek out in other areas. But 7-0, just great teamwork overall between those two. 7-0 again is the score.
Yeah, they played that really well. Schaefer, unfortunately, he was just pinned in that location. And if the CTs didn't have any flashes, he might have been able to win that round. But he got blind, and then he heard the defuse, so he was forced out of that hole.
Right.
And just good bait switch set up by Blight.
That's a great comment that you made, though, about the flashbang. Being blinded in that situation, they went for, as soon as he went for the defuse, he tossed it, that flashbang was popping. So now, as we take a look here, of course, the money has accumulated so much now for the terrorist side here for Cyber Revolution. They should be able to buy from here on out. Opposed to the fact that if they win this round and then lose next. Of course, everyone knows that in Counter-Strike, we've gone over the economy system 8 billion times, and we'll see how this one pans out right now. Stan pushing over here through the mid area, through the sewers. Connor picking up 1 with the AK. They're taking their time moving there towards that that opposing site. The nice little, they got some crossover here. There goes the bridge. Heat wave pushed down from that bomb site and picked up one. That was from the A-bomb site. Now Miller and Schaefer here going up against 4 members of Zomblers who are still back over there inside of the CT spawn, trying to figure out which way they want to rotate towards. As right now you've got Schaefer checking out the A-bomb site, playing extremely passive, seeing if he could get a pick as they cross. Miller decides to push inside. He's wrapping over here towards the high ground. Remember, Schaefer's down over there towards the lower tunnels there inside the A-bomb site. He's going to try to give some cover fire there. Spots one. Now they know that 1 member out of the 4. Still taking their time here towards the site. Bomb will get planted. So far, it's been a successful round here, getting that bomb down. Now it's going to draw in the counter-terrorists. They know where Miller's at. He's in a really tough situation to be in. He peeks out, and he's going to get taken down by Ryan. Now it's going to be left up to Schaefer down to 9 HP. Headshot with the overkill AWP, but that's going to finish off the round as Heatwave takes out Schaefer. Now the score is going to be 8-0. Let's just take a look, more of a learning wise, and look at the money here in this round. For those of you at home, you can see how things accumulate before the freeze time started. They're at $350. Now you can see they've acquired $4,000. Roughly should be, I think it's $3,500, $3,750, somewhere in there. What they can work with every single round from that point on, which will allow you enough to be able to buy an AK for sure. Some situations you can see that Schaefer's bought an AWP because of the money he had before.
Yep, and CyberRev here, they're getting the bomb down. The problem is that they're just always outnumbered. And Blight is just doing a really, really good job of retaking together as a team, not running in one by one. So right now their timing is really on. CyberRev, they are executing. They're getting to the spots they want to, except every time, they just have to defend outnumbered, and then Blight's just out shooting them in those situations.
Right, and that's exactly where things come in. Again, they acquire about $3,500 plus the $800 from getting the bomb down. So that's what they're just kind of building around. And see, the other part of it is not about the money system. It's about actually winning rounds. And that's where some of the limitations are coming in here for Cyber Revolution, economically as well as more or less physically here in this game. Is now they're going to decide to head over here towards that A-bomb site again. There goes Heatwave picking up 1. But now Devour watching over. Great little, I believe it was either a flashbang or a nade that came towards him as he had to fall back. But they're delaying. They're taking so much time again. They've now said, we're over here. We're giving you enough time to rotate around, and they still haven't got set up. Schaefer able to take down Sauce. Devour answers back op for op, as now it's going to be down to a 3v3. And here comes Ryan. He takes down another member. There goes Mainline. Now it's going to be left up to Connor, and that's going to do it right there. It's down to a 2v1. And here comes the diffuser working on figuring out what guns they want to work with here. Devour is going to go ahead and maintain and hold on to this AWP. And I think they may have known that there's certain weapons somewhere else. But that's going to do it so far. 9-0. 9 consecutive rounds in a row here in favor of Blight Zomblers.
Yep, and Blight doing a strong job. I just want to mention something you said. Maybe CyberRev, they are taking a little too long.
Yes.
After they take the site, they're allowing the defensive side here to regroup and get to those spots they need to retake. So CyberRev not applying that immediate pressure by getting that bomb down ASAP.
With one of the issues, whenever you have a site to take and you've already pushed in, at that moment you got to have a mental timer, realizing that they're probably thinking, okay, they're not here, and we've left open this area, then let's rotate. Let's start to make our move now. And you're going to start to see them work together as a team and kind of cross over. And you have to just know that just go ahead and get the bomb down, because they probably will already come to the realization, especially at this level here in the playoffs for ESEA, that they know that they're over there towards that site. But that may be the fact that we can see everything and they can't. But again, right now it's going to be down to a 3-on-2. Mainline has the bomb pushing inside the site. He's going to get taken out there by Devour. And another thing to always take in consideration, even those who are in ESEA main, some of the top-level players for Counter-Strike Source, since the game has been around for so long, even a map like Contra, they know what spots to check. They know what flashes to throw. Maybe that wasn't the flash you throw, but nice little flashbang coming in over the top there. Connor, while he was blind, down to a one-on-one now. It's going to be left up to Heatwave here as he knows where he's at. He's over there towards that sewer area, spams away, and finally picks up their first round. He got dropped down to 8 HP. 9-1 now is the score. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it took a 3-on-1, but finally,
wow.
finally Contra stepping up. Huge there. I mean, obviously being down 10-0 anytime you play is no good. So finally, Contra giving them some kind of hope here.
Let's go ahead and take a look here again. Let's switch over to the ADR here. And looking again, mainline, I had boasted about him. I talked about how incredible he's been and all the 3-kill rounds that he's got. He's sitting at 1-10 now.
Mm-hmm.
As right now it's going to be down to a 3-on-5 now. Miller, Contra, mainline. Now they're going to be pushing up here towards the highway area here for the A-bomb side, top A. They've spotted, they're spamming through the smoke now. Heat wave watching only one location, and that's that drop down, that ledge that's just above that A-bomb site. What we saw previously before by one of the POVs from one of the players on the terrace side. You got to be on the lookout for the flank there from Ryan. But there's a ledge over there on the A side where people fall down, and that's exactly what Heat Wave was watching. Or I apologize, that was, I believe, yeah, it was Heat Wave. Heat Wave was watching that location there inside that A-bomb site. So 10-1 now is the score. They answered back. Let's see the money. Again, they've acquired so much that they can kind of buy appropriately, knowing that if they lose a round, that's something that I think always needs to be considered whenever you're dealing with an economy game. Oh, that hurts.
Absolutely. You don't want to just spend everything as soon as you can. The first thing you want to do is everyone just types out their money and figures out if, first of all, if 4 of the 5 players can buy, if you can, do so. If you have extra money, don't go ahead and just spend it all. See if you can drop your teammate a weapon.
Yeah, as this round comes to an end, now the score is going to be 11-1. But one of the things I want to talk about, some of the benefits with the new Counter-Strike Global Offensive that's coming out, that the days of having to type out your money is no more. Just tab and you know exactly what all your teammates have.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great added benefit. But one of the downsides is whenever you're actually in an ESEA pug playing Counter-Strike Global Offensive, you can't lie to your teammates anymore. They know exactly how much you have.
They know when you're being shady or not.
Drop me. Nah, man, I can't. You got 6K. No, it's a glitch. It's still a beta.
Right.
Still a beta. 11-1, there was a score here. It's already going to be down to a 4-on-4 now. As a great little exchange kind of came out on top, but Stan takes out his own teammate. He got taken out by Sauce, had a grenade cooked, and took out his own teammate. Now the score is going to be down to a 2-on-2 with Heatwave and Ryan. And again, Heatwave had a 4K round earlier in this first half. Bomb still not planted. Finally, they're going for the plant. Bomb's going to get down here inside of that B-bomb site. Here they come for the rotate. They're going to be coming from 2 different sides. This is what they did well before. They're pushing in from the same area. We got Schaefer, who's down over there towards the sewer area. Contra out in the middle of the site. He's going straight off a reaction here, but that gave away another position. Another AK headshot. Now the score is going to be 2-11. Contra relying on sheer reflex power, and look at that. He's 13-11 right now. So he's the only one that's really dealt out some damage here for Cyber Revolution. The score right now 11-2 overall, though.
Yeah, Contra single-handedly winning these CyberRev team these 2 rounds here. So it's 11-2. There are 3 rounds left. I'm sorry, 2 more rounds left. So CyberRev, they're really looking to pick up these last 2 to give themselves a decent chance, somewhat of a chance, to come back on the second half. Again, this is the second map of the first best of 3 of ESEA LAN finals here in Dallas, Texas. CyberRev did take the first map here, so right here answering.
You got Devour, who's now the last man standing. This is the first real round that I've seen Cyber Revolution just come out and slaughter.
Yeah, it's the first time they've actually rushed up that middle. They just threw something up randomly towards Blaine, and it caught him off guard.
Well, one of the things that happens later in a game, whenever you're winning as well as you are, you hit this wall. You're playing so well, and you're just doing. It's going to be a random factor that comes in that changes things. Random, as in a sense that they try something completely new, something completely random, if you will.
Yeah, you see that often happen a lot in sports, where like a basketball team's up like 25 points, and then somehow the other team gets back into it. I don't know if that's the other team just finally catching on to the other team, or the winning team getting complacent. It does look like we have a slight delay here.
We'll have to see. what's actually happening right now. As we currently, our score is 11-3 as the game comes back to us. Luckily enough, as right now it's going to be down to a 2-on-2, so we apologize for the little hiccup, but now it's going to be down to a 2-on-1 as it feels like we're going through this whole thing like a flip book.
It does look like we're frozen again. Hopefully it'll come back. Unfortunately for mainline here.
Yeah, so we'll have to see. We had Cyber Revolution lose that round, so it's 12-3 in favor of the Zomblers, and we apologize for the hiccups that were going on there. So the first half score 12-3, and
Blight doing a really good job responding after losing that first map. I feel like now, finally, their skill is showing. Maybe they're warmed up now, whereas the other map, it just took them a little bit to get them jump-started. So.
Right. And that's one of the things that we were talking about before with whenever I was mentioning Miller. I was being overly critical on purpose. I mean, it's one of the things you're supposed to do as a caster. You're supposed to talk down to players that are better than you. And but no, overall, I mean, he didn't come to play, but your teammates Stan and Mainline were just dominating. They were, again, picking up several 3K rounds, and so it's sometimes your teammates are taking all the kills away from what are possible out there, and Miller's couldn't take advantage of it. So there's two different ways to look at it. But finally, they started to pick up their momentum. But we're talking more so on the Blight's behalf or Zombler's behalf. Heatwave and Classified playing extremely, extremely well. Ryan picked up, trying to remember that was the ace from the last game. That actually is a good momentum point to bring up, is with the Zomblers, where Ryan picked up that during the round on Tuscan there inside of that B bomb site. Whenever he had a deagle in hand, he picked off Schaefer, picked up that AWP, and the rest was history, where he just picked up the ace. Yeah. And that right there is it's a good tone setter, especially in a best of three. That's something to kind of build off of. Again, the first half score is 12-3 overall, and
just goes to show, what these Blight players are capable of. Again, like we mentioned earlier, they're more of an individual team. So at any time, one of these players can just go crazy and are capable of aces like that, even with a deagle. So Blight here responding strongly in the second map after losing the first one, going up 12-3. So Cyberev here, they've got a huge uphill climb. They must win this CT pistol round if they want a chance.
So what we're doing right now is basically breaking down the round, just looking at just moments in time. So this is kind of working off the game in images. But score is correct at the top of the game, at the top of your scoreboard with the broadcast app. It's currently 13-3. And we're kind of just going, again, frame by frame. So much action has happened that it's sending down the pipe that game's trying to catch up to. But if we look at it overall, what's been happening again, so now score is 14-3. So this game is kind of just ending pretty quickly, giving you a frame by frame kind of back. It reminds me of the old school days with the IRC bot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was like, so that's what happened.
Yeah.
So
well, all of a sudden, all the action will pop up. We're sitting there in such suspense, like, what happened? What happened?
One of the things I remember back in the day, what I was worried about is whenever you remember Microsoft Sam, whenever you type out different words, it would sit there and it's text to speech.
Okay.
Yeah, I was worried that someone was going to create an IRC bot that had voice activation or text to speech, and so basically it was going to take over my job in a sense of such and such killed such and such by headshot, and I'd be like, oh man, I'm out of a job now, because that's basically all I do anyway.
Right.
Don't tell the viewers out there that that's what I do. I just call out headshots and that's it.
Well,
different inflection in my voice for different moments, but that's about it. So again, right now the game is live right now. We're just trying to go through and figure out all our hiccups that we're having connection-wise. Score right now 14-13. or 14-3, apologize, in favor of the Zomblers. They're currently playing right now with this matchup. So looking, let's kind of dissect each of these players while we're kind of figuring things out. 14-4. But as we look at Blight Zomblers, there's a huge comparison of what we've seen in the past with what they've done on the first map on Tuscan and what they're doing right now, especially in the first half.
Yeah, well, these players from Blight, they've been to multiple ESEA LANs, so you know, they've been here, they've been under this pressure, they know what it's like to play here. And on the other hand, CyberRev, this is the first time I've ever seen Connor, Stan, and Mainline, and even Miller. I think maybe they've been to like 1 or 2, I believe, at most.
Yeah, I've seen. I mean, the more and more that we watch these games, and more and more I come back around to watching games of Counter-Strike. As we get older, man, it's just so hard to watch as many games as I used to. And I apologize to the community that I'm not as updated on the individual skill and their player level like I have been in the past. But right now, as we finally kind of got some real action to look at, looks like it's about to be 14-5 here in favor of Zomblers as Cyber Revolution, where it matters. Of course, this is going to be the longest bomb timer ever because we're froze right here. I've actually never seen it do this before.
Well, this looks like we're frozen, but
we are frozen.
It does
I knew
take
that.
long to defuse a bomb. You've got like a 300 key combination there.
Well, it's still the same pattern. 14-5 right now is the score. Just kind of keep you posted on what the score is throughout the game. The players currently are not having the same issue, so there should be competitive wise, this is not an impact on them. But going back to it, one of the things that I find is extremely interesting is how Mainline was so effective in the game prior on Tuscan, and he's basically had zero to little impact on this game. Look at that. Go ahead and switch to the player. Go ahead and pull back here on that camera angle, if you can, and look at that. You've got one member who's boosted up on top of here. That may be come into play later on. As they're just kind of, again, we're frozen right here in time. But, as we look at how this round is kind of finishing out here, you've got, it looks like it's going to be down to a 2-on-3. We're going to try to see if we can stick around here this whole rest of this round, 14-5. It looks like this may be heading towards game point, 14-5. Miller all by himself, bomb ticking away. It's probably going to explode. This is frozen again. So the score is going to be 15-5 overall. We're going to be heading to game point, and you can see that you got the chasing effect, and that's going to go ahead, and now we're sitting at 15-5. It's like going through a flip book that you have like something sticky on your hands. You can only watch certain things. Well, you want page 3? No, you can't. You get page 5.
Right.
It's ridiculous. So.
Well, we're going to try to get this fixed as soon as we can.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just a slight little difficulty here. Could be the hotel connection, but sorry for that. But thank you for your patience, and we'll get that fixed as soon as we find the problem.
Let's go ahead and right now we're back. We have some game action that's going on. Score 15-5. Again, we're just capturing glimpses in time, and that's going to do it right there. We're back to being frozen again. So
the bomb has been planted. It's a 3-on-3. Looks all 3 members have. This would be 100 health.
This would be a good training tutorial for newcomers for doing casting and stuff like that. They could sit here and say, well, let's freeze it down, break it down for you. And that looks like that was it.
Yeah.
So
16-7, I believe, was the final score.
We'll have to get the official because 7 sounds a little extreme. I think it was 5.
Yeah, but either way, a dominant victory.
Either way, yes.
Dominant victory there for Blight. Great job answering back after losing that first map. And now I believe that you've got to give the favor to Blight. I mean, they've got the momentum now. They've switched the momentum over. They just considerably beat them on the second map. And then, you know, that's also a really good sign because obviously some of these players on CyberRev, they're not as experienced, so maybe they're going to, all that extra added pressure, knowing that if they lose this map, they're going to go to lower brackets. So right now, I got to give the advantage to Blight.
Well, especially with $10,000 for the first place prize, you don't want to kind of put yourself into a tougher situation than you need to. Being sent down to the losers bracket again, Cyber Revolution and Blight Zomblers are all tied up at 1 right here from the ESEA Season 11 LAN Finals. Again, if you haven't done it yet, make sure you stop on by twitter.com, Ron Rambo Kim, and kind of post your comments towards him. You can also follow me at considerate_done.